Hi, my name is Kirill and I'm pleased to be here. In today's talk, we're going to talk about ready-made applications that you can grab off the marketplace, install it on your instance, and get going within 10 to 15 minutes. Let's get right into demo. So I have an instance of Creatio that I have recently obtained from Creatio.com. You can go on Creatio.com and ask for one. It's absolutely free and you can try it for 14 days. Let's log on. After having logged in, you will be greeted with the new page that shows you some important dashboards. Now here's my problem. Let's assume that I have a bunch of opportunities and they're all presented to me here, and what I would like to do is, first of all, I would like to see them in a slightly different way. Now, in order for me to show them in a slightly different way, I can use these dashboards, but that's not exactly what I want. I want to show this Kanban report. Now you could tell how easy it is to understand where my opportunity is, how easy it is for me to move them around, to disqualify, or do some other common tasks. Now the application that allows me to perform this action is called Kanban. Now let's go ahead and see how we can install them so I can walk you through the installation process and then configuration. In order for you to install the application, you have to go into System Designer first, find the Applications section, and click on Installed Applications. I have already installed one, but I'll show you how to install yet another one. I'm going to say Add Application because I am in pre-production environment. I will be installing it from File. Now I can choose to install something off Marketplace, in which case you will be redirected to a marketplace where you can find the application to install. For example, here I would like to find something called Refresh. So I'm going to search for it and I'm going to click on this application that I would like to install and click on Install, go into Packages, Agree, and click on Download. Once you download the package, you will be able to install it. Let's go ahead and install this application. I'm going to now say Install from Marketplace or Install from File. I'm going to select the file to install, and my file is somewhere in my Downloads, Packages. And I'm going to spoon feed that file that I just installed. It's going to be called Refresh. The application is going to take some time to install. It's going to upload necessary files and then go through rebuilding process, and it might take some time. Just be patient here. Now on the right hand side, you will see that the system is telling us that it's safe to close this page, and whenever the application is done installing, it will be just available for you. Now, when I'm installing something for the first time, I always want to make sure that I get a green log, meaning that everything installed correctly and I can start consuming my application. I suggest waiting for the installation log to appear every time you're installing something for the first time. Now, if you've installed it in the past, then obviously you can just close this page and wait for the app to show up, but in the meantime, just sit tight. We can download installation log and we can take a look at what happened, but that's not quite what we're interested in. Now, after the application has been installed, we can just simply refresh this grid and take a look, and I can see that yes, my app was truly installed. Now, I know what this application is doing, and it's offering me a refresh button, and since all the changes have been made, I just simply need to refresh my page to see the effect. The effect will be visible as soon as we go in the grid. For that, you will get this little green button. So what we've done just now is we install the application, and the same approach will be applied to essentially all other applications that you want to install for Marketplace. Marketplace applications provide us a variety of tools that we can just simply drop into Creatio and start consuming them immediately. Kanban report was one such application. You just install it, and then in your opportunities, cases, or wherever you have stages, you will get this little button, and this little button will allow you to move things around. Now let's take a look at another application that I have installed for myself, and this has to do with the Excel reports. Now when I followed the installation instruction, I've placed this Excel reports section straight here into my Studio Workplace. Now this Excel report allows me to configure some export options that are not available from a default application. Let me give you an example. We're going to go into our sales one more time, and inside sales I would like to go into opportunities. In here, I would like to configure a grid, or I would like to configure how I can export some records. So for example, if I go under Actions and click Export to Excel, I will get whatever I can see on the list right now. If I open this file, then whatever the information is visible here on the grid will be available to me. But what if I want to customize it? And what if I want to put some different columns here? Let's try to configure it. Well, for example, I can go into View, select Fields to Display, and in here I can configure the fields that I'm interested in. So for example, I can add from an opportunity, I can add, let's say, product or opportunity product. And from this column, I can choose what I want. So let's say I'm interested in quantity of products that are offered for a particular opportunity. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it one more time. And now if I go and simply export it to Excel, then I'll get a new instance of this file or a new version of the file with this additional column. And you can tell that here's my new column. And that's great. That's a default and a standard features of Creatio. But what if, for example, for one task that I'm trying to solve within a day, I need to get the opportunity by or count of opportunities or count of products in the opportunity, and then I need another column for some other task and another column for some other task. So it appears that this grid layout I can only configure once, and this grid will stay permanent, or I can only have one option here. So how do I go about solving this problem? Well, this is exactly where this Excel report comes handy. Let's go into Studio, let's go into Excel reports and try to explore some options here. I'm going to create a new report, and I'm going to create something for opportunity. Now I can choose from different report types. It could be a custom report, edit page, or a section report. Let's start off with the section report. We need to choose the section. In our case, it's going to be opportunity. Oops. And once the record is created, we can open it and configure. Okay, so here I can configure the columns that I want. So for example, I want a contact. And for example, I may need an account. And I may need products, or not products, but let's jump into opportunity products. Opportunity. It's easier if we search this way, opportunity product. And from here, I'll grab quantity. Perfect. I can configure filters just the same way I could configure them in the grid. Okay. So that's one opportunity. Let's create another opportunity. So let's create another opportunity too. Opportunity report 2. I am also going to use it as a section report. And I'm still going to configure it to my opportunity section. Now I could have copied it, and that's probably would have been a smarter option. So let's just go ahead and copy it and just simply reconfigure a couple of columns here. So I'm going to say a name. I'm going to say contact, and I'm going to say account. Let's say this is all I want, or maybe I want an amount as well. Perfect. So now I've got few to choose from. I've got 3 reports in my opportunities. Let's go inside sales and find the opportunities section. And in the opportunities section, now I have this Excel report. Inside this Excel report, I now have 3 to choose from, each with pre-configured set of columns. And this is great. This is exactly the problem that I was trying to solve. When I choose an opportunity, the set of columns will be selected, ones that I've pre-configured. And the files are just simply showing up in my Excel. Perfect. Now let's take a look at some advanced options of this report builder. I'm going to go back into my Studio, into Excel reports. And in here, I'm going to create one more report. So let's say I'm going to call it quote. Report type in this case is going to be a page report. And we're also going to choose an opportunity here. Done. Where's our quote? Let's open it up. Let's configure the columns that we would like from the opportunity column, from the opportunity table. We want a contact. We want account. Let's say we want amount. Maybe we want an owner, and maybe we want a stage. We can always come back and reconfigure it a little bit later. Okay, so what I want to do now is rather than having a flat file just like this, I also want some additional details. In Excel, you're probably familiar with formulas such as VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and so if I want to perform some of the lookups, I need another table. Let's go ahead and add related schemas. We call them schemas, you might be calling them tables. I am interested in adding details or another table for my products. So product, and let's find opportunity, participant probability, there we go, opportunity product. Now it is my responsibility to make sure that I know how to connect them. Now all the tables somehow need to be connected, so the opportunity need to be connected to the products inside this opportunity. So how do we connect them and what are these fields? Well, you've got a detail column that represents a column inside the opportunity product, and then you have a master column that represents the same value for your foreign and primary key constraint on the opportunity table. So in the master, we're just simply going to choose ID, and in here, we're going to choose opportunity. Great. That's one column. From the opportunity product, I would like to grab a product. I would like to grab quantity, maybe price, maybe amount, so I don't have to do it myself, perhaps interest level, and maybe even a date quoted. I believe it's quoted on. Yes, perfect. Now we can also filter items here. So if I only want items that we're interested in, I can add an additional filter by specifying that interested or interest has to be of a particular type. And from here, we can choose which interest we're interested in. Need discovered, not interested, or postpone. I'm not going to be filtering anything right now. I'll leave it up to you. Okay, so let's save this record. Now I've got the opportunity product. Let's go ahead and add another interesting column or another interesting table. Let's say that we are interested in the account information, so account address. So we're going to search for account address. Okay, so how are we going to configure it? Well, the opportunity has a column called account, and the account address has a column called account. So this is going to be a common column for both of these tables, and so I can configure it. From here, let's go ahead and grab address. Let's go ahead and add city, post or state. We also have country. And let's say we want a postal code or zip code. Okay, that looks good. We can do the same thing for, let's say, for a contact, but at this point, I'm not quite interested in the contact. Let's simply save this. We can close this. And let's go ahead back into our opportunity. So let's go back into sales. And inside sales, let's find our opportunity. Let's open this Axiom for now. And let's simply look at the Excel report. We see that inside the Excel report, I now have a quote. So quote, as the page report, will only show up when the page is open. If I look at the quote, and I look at it in Excel, I'll see that all the information that I've asked for is now broken down in 3 separate tabs. Here's some stuff about the opportunity itself, name, contact, account, etc. Here's something about the address of the organization that I'm dealing with. And here's something about the product itself. Now, the formatting here is not quite what I want. For example, I want my quantity to be formatted as a number, so I'll just simply enable editing, and I'm going to use this Excel spreadsheet as my template. Let's make sure that we can do that. On a quantity, I'm going to format it as a number. I'm not interested in decimal places, so I'll remove it. I can do the same thing for my price, but in this case, maybe I'll use a currency. Quoted on, that's certainly a date, so let me go ahead and find a date here, or a format that I'm interested in. I like my dates to be formatted, let's say, this way. Okay, I can save this. Now the file that I'm saving is called quote1. Let's go ahead and create a new sheet. Let's drag it in the front. rename it real quick and call it summary. In my summary, what I would like to do is I would like to provide information about the product and the contact information. So my quote is usually going to have a name. So we're going to grab the value here from the opportunity itself. We're going to say this is my opportunity. Okay, now my opportunity is or for a particular person, or it's to a particular person. So we have a contact. So let's just name it contact. Let's say stage, and let's say we have an account. So my contact is going to be from the opportunity. Here's my contact. My account is going to be from opportunity account. And my stage is going to be from an opportunity stage. Okay, very good. The next thing that I want to do is I want to list my product. So let's say we're going to have number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. And we'll configure it a little bit later on. Let's move on to opportunity product. We're going to say that the product is here. And let's make it a little bit wider. And let's say that this is going to be our price or quantity. So let's name things accordingly. Product. Let it be a number, quantity. Let's say we now have, price, amount, and that's going to be enough. So price is going to be this fella, and the amount is going to be this fella. Okay, good. Now let's fix our header. And let's say that we want to normalize items here. So I'll just use the same formatting for all of them. Perfect. And what I can do here, for example, is I can say, well, this is going to be a sum of some sort. Sum. And let's go ahead and sum things up. Let me just quickly color it so it stands out, and I'll put it on the white. And I'm going to call this amount total. Let's give it like this. Perfect. So now if I simply drag it like this, I'll have a problem with all the zeros because I have only few items here. So I need to somehow address this issue. So how am I going to address it? Well, I'm going to use an old trick in Excel, and I'm going to say if this value is equal to nothing, then give me nothing, otherwise give me this value. So this way, when I drag it, rather than having zeros, I'll have nothing. I'll do the same thing here. If this item is equal to nothing, equal to nothing, then give me nothing, otherwise give me the value. Perfect. And I can drag it down. And so my zeros disappear. This way I can easily configure, let me just stretch it down. Excellent. I can also do the same formula here. So we're going to say that if, let's say, this item not equals to nothing, then it's going to be 1. Otherwise, it's going to be nothing. So you can configure this formula. Okay, good. So I've got my template here, and everything seemed to be working. I'm getting my sum, but now I want this template to be applied and to be actually provided to me every time I click on this button. So how do I do that? Well, let's save this item as quote 1, or actually this is our template. So we're going to make sure that we can now upload it. Let's close our Excel. Let's drop down into our studio, find the Excel reports, find the quote, and go and upload this template. In my downloads, I believe, here's my quote 1, the one that we just worked on. Let's take this file and let's try to use this file as our template. Let's go back into sales. Let's go back into opportunities. Let's grab the one that we were working with and say that we would like a quote on it. We get a quote. Let's open this file. And what we can see is that everything is fine here. But this is the template, so you might be wondering if this actually gave me new information here or not. So let's close this. And let's go into another opportunity. Let's say I want to work with this one for 7. Excel, quote, let's open quote 3. Enable editing. And so you could tell that now I have a new quote, I have a new total, my formulas work, and all the values that I have asked for, they're all here for me. Okay, so this was a quick tutorial on how to use Marketplace, how to install applications, and how to quickly configure application that you want to use. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to speaking to you again.